Surfing is one of the most popular water sports in the world, and with numbers growing exponentially and lives getting more hectic in the modern world, surfers are looking for anything that can save them some time. Getting up early to beat the crowds can pay off sometimes, but a lot of the time they will get to the beach to find no waves. Surfers around the world are now using the internet to find the conditions in the comfort of their own homes without having to waste a trip to the beach, saving them precious time. However, there are very few options to find this information, so surfers are desperate for a definitive source. This is where Swell Surf Check comes in. Swell Surf Check is not just for surfers though. With tourism in the southwest thriving, tourists are looking for information on the surrounding area and will also benefit greatly from using the application. The web app was created with Angular, while the mobile app was created with the Ionic framework. The backend uses Amazon Web Services Lambdas, which use serverless technology, so that there is no need for scaling, as this is all done for you. It's also cheaper, as you're only charged when the Lambda is being used, as opposed to a traditional API where you pay for the uptime. The chatbot is run by Dialogflow, which is Google's framework for chatbots. To use the web application, you need to navigate to the URL, which can be accessed from any browser in the world, desktop or mobile. Once you've navigated to the URL, you're met with the home screen, where you can search either by region or by autocomplete. So if a user's a tourist and they don't know exactly which spot they want to go to, they can select the region that they're in, for example North Devon, and they'll be met with a list of spots they can choose from. Alternatively, if a surfer knows which spot they want to check out, they can just start typing it in. For example, Saunton. I can click on the Saunton drop down and it will take me directly to the spot. Once on the spot detail page, you are first met with the current conditions component. This shows a picture of the spot as well as the size of the waves currently with a description, the speed of the wind as well as the direction and the current weather and temperature conditions, as well as a description of the conditions in words. Next is the forecast component, where there is a 4-day forecast of the size of the waves, the wind and the weather. There's also a nearby component where surfers or tourists can see the nearby points of interest in regard to the spot they're on. So you can either select the marker to see which one each one is, or alternatively you can click on this icon next to the list component to see where it is on the map. So if you click, it highlights it on the map. You can also click on the list component to see more information on the nearby point of interest. So there's a gallery. You can view the address and the phone number of the point of interest, as well as read customer reviews, including when they were written and who they were written by. Next is the gallery. This is a collection of photos from the spot. You can click on it to get a full screen image and navigate through with the arrows. There's also a best conditions component, so that if somebody doesn't know if the conditions in the current component are up to scratch, they can see if they match these conditions, and if they do, they know that the spot is going to be working at that time. If experienced surfers want to know more about the conditions, there is the For the Pros component, which is powered by the Magic Seaweed API. Here they can view the swell direction, the wind gusts, the period between each wave, and the air pressure, as well as the charts for swell, period, wind, and pressure. Next, we can register a user with the system by clicking the Register button in the nav bar. First of all, if we try to register with no credentials, it will tell the user that all fields are required. So if we enter all the required fields, we can register a user, but if we try to do it without a valid email address, it will tell the user the email is invalid. So if we enter a valid one, it will register the user with the system. If we then try to log in with the credentials that we just created, successfully log the user in. So we can go to the profile page, view the user's information. Right now we don't have any favourite spot. Now navigate to a spot. We'll be able to add it to our favourite spots section of the profile page so that we can access it easily if we know exactly which spot we want to go for. We can do that by pressing the Add to Favourites button on the spot page. We can then go to our profile and view the spot in there. The spot can be deleted from the favourite spot section either by pressing this rubbish bin icon here or by selecting Remove from Favourites here. So if we remove it, we get the toast. We can go to our profile and it's no longer there. On log out, we're redirected back to the home page. If we try to then go to the profile route, we are redirected to the login page so that a user cannot access the profile page unless they're logged in. The application also has a AI chatbot feature, which you can get to by clicking the chat in the nav bar. Here the user can ask something like, what is the surf doing at Saunton? And the chat will reply with the current conditions for that spot. If the user were to ask what the surf is doing at a spot that isn't on the system yet, so if we say Bells, which is in Australia, it tells the user that they don't have that spot yet. The user can also talk to the chatbot, and if they just type something in that doesn't make sense, the chatbot will ask them to say it again. I'll talk about the mobile application for Swell Surf Check. The mobile application of Swell Surf Check, this is it running on an emulator. However, there are plans to release the app to the Google Play Store in the future. The home screen of the app is simply a list of spots that the user can choose from. So if I click on Saunton, it will take me to the current conditions, which shows, similar to the web, the picture, the size of the surf at the moment, the wind, the weather, and a description. If I scroll down, it will show me again a 4-day forecast with the same information, the size, the wind, the weather. If I log in with the credentials we made on the web app walkthrough, You're then redirected to your account page where you'll find your favourite spots. Obviously we don't have any yet, but if we navigate to a spot, we're now met with this add to favourites icon. So if we press that, spot added to favourites. So if we go back to our account, our favourite spot will appear, and we can then access it from there. Then log out by going to the settings tab and selecting log out. If we then try to go to the accounts tab when we're not logged in, we'll be met with this screen where we can either tap to log in or tap to register. So it'll just redirect you to the page that you want to go to. The system can be used from anywhere in the world, and more spots can easily be added in the future to help Swell Surf Check grow and increase the user base. And that concludes my video report.